Hello, book lovers, and thanks for listening. If you like my work, please remember to like and subscribe to help me build my channel. Evolution for Smart Kids, A Little Scientist's Guide to the Origins of Life, from the Future Geniuses series, by Carlos Pazos. Translated by Allie Hauptman. Retold and narrated by Jennifer Schafer.
Hello, future evolution geniuses. I am Valentina, the paleontologist, and this little chicken in a costume is named Darwin.
He looks good.
Yes, he does.
Is that a dinosaur costume?
Yes, it is.
I should get one of those.
Darwin is the smallest animal on his farm,
Oh,
and to feel more important, he dressed up as a dinosaur. But the other animals haven't even noticed.
oh, poor Darwin.
What Darwin doesn't know is his ancestors were dinosaurs. You don't believe me? I'll show you. Take off that disguise and come with me. We are going back in time to find the origins of life. We will discover how a bird like you came from dinosaurs. Here we are in the past, before there were any plants or animals in the world. The only life in the oceans were these unicellular organisms. This is Luca. He's the last universal common ancestor.
What does that mean?
It means that every living thing today is descended from this single cell.
Does that mean that Luca was the first cell on Earth?
No, but Luca was the best adapted for survival, so it was able to multiply more than any other organism. Luca's children were all almost exactly like him, and the children of his children were as well. Even though they were pretty well adapted, not all of them were able to survive long enough to reproduce, but sometimes one would turn out a little different. This is called a mutation.
That one has 3 eyes.
Well, Luca was a single-celled organism, so it didn't really have eyes. Creatures with eyes evolved much later, but we can use the number of eyes as an example to understand how mutations work.
Bet you could see really well with 3 eyes.
Well, a mutation is a good mutation if it helps an organism survive long enough to reproduce. It's a bad mutation if it makes the organism less likely to survive. So having another eye might seem like a good thing, but if the creature lives in the dark, then maybe it doesn't need to see very well.
Oh,
And maybe a third eye could have some disadvantages, like maybe it was more vulnerable to injury or infection.
those guys with 3 eyes didn't survive very long.
That's right. On the other hand, you see this variation is yellow. So maybe the color change, or what scientists would call change in pigmentation, helped this one to be able to live in a sunnier environment.
It looks like the yellow ones like to live up near the surface.
So when some variations are able to survive better in a particular environment, and some are less able to survive, it's like the environment is choosing or selecting which variations will survive. This is called natural selection. Over time, between small differences and natural selection, bigger differences began to appear. Small differences between individuals are called microevolutions. When lots of small differences add up over many generations, that's called macroevolution. And this is how new species appear.
So, over many years, the descendants of a single cell can evolve into a jellyfish?
Very slowly, new, more complex beings besides Luca came to populate the earth, like animals.
And birds?
A bird is a kind of animal.
And bugs?
Yes, bugs are animals too. All animals are divided into two main groups.
Inverta?
Invertebrates. Those are animals that don't have a backbone.
I have a backbone?
Yes, so that means you are a vertebrate.
Are you a vertebrate?
Now we have arrived in the age of dinosaurs. Look at the many different species of animals. There are enormous dinosaurs
So big.
and some smaller ones.
I wish I were that big.
Well, there might be some advantages to being small. This theropod is one of your ancestors.
Run, run, it's gonna bite us.
Many years later, we have theropods called coelurosaurs, with feathers and feet that look a lot like yours.
Ah, cute.
Also, you can't forget that dinosaurs hatch from eggs, just like you, Darwin.
I would never forget that. Some of the best animals come out of eggs.
And as we continue on in time, we find that your ancestors look more and more like you.
Like looking in a mirror.
This one belongs to a group called Meniraptora. Eventually, there were some small flying dinosaurs and other kinds of flying reptiles like pterosaurs. But you didn't descend from these. You're more like distant cousins. Then, after 65 million years, an asteroid fell from the sky.
Uh-oh,
It caused a huge disaster,
that's not good.
and almost all of the dinosaurs disappeared, so they couldn't continue to evolve.
End of the line.
But some dinosaurs did survive. These were the smallest dinosaurs, and they were called avian dinosaurs. They survived because they were small enough to hide in caves and protect themselves from the disaster.
I guess it's good to be small.
They were able to continue to evolve until a new species appeared. Evolution made way for the modern birds that have taken over the world.
Look at all these different kinds of birds. Are they all descended from dinosaurs?
Yes, descendants of these avian dinosaurs evolved through variation and natural selection into all the different kinds of birds alive today, including you, Darwin. And there you have it. All birds descended from dinosaurs, but not the big dinosaurs. Birds evolved from the smallest and sneakiest dinosaurs.
It's good to be small.
Sometimes you may not feel special, Darwin, but I believe you're amazing just the way you are. And your friends on the farm believe it too.
Thank you.
Now that we're experts on evolution, you can be proud that you're a small chicken, my favorite descendant of the dinosaurs.
Rawr.